Yo, yo,
Sir.
yo, pre-show shit. You know the vibes.
Yes, sir. It's hot as hell in this damn room too.
Dog, my shirt is drenched, dog. Like I said, on the grill for you have no idea.
Yo, the grill makes it at least 10 degrees hotter than what it is outside.
It's insane, bro. It's insane. I know I got a 10 or something today, dog, for sure. Word up, word up.
Yeah, yeah. I see a little bit of color.
Dog, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. I know it's a little bit. Word up. But salute. I'm drinking some wine tonight. I use my immaculate wine opener, you know what I'm saying, that I got, you know what I'm saying, from some good people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some rich friends. When you got rich friends, man, they take care of you, baby.
And
Yeah.
Xbox, all
You know,
types of goodies from these people, man.
you know what I mean?
Right now.
Yo,
I'm just saying thank you, brother.
yeah, man. Gotta give you your flowers.
Come on, man. Gotta give you your flowers, man.
Let me make sure we super straight on the links. I'm not sure what's happening with those. So I think we good money, but I just want to double check. But as we talk about this stuff, Pain, I know there was something you wanted to get into. Hold on, let's let the little brother,
Yo,
big brother Little in. Little, what's up, God?
yo, what up, little?
I'm chilling, man. Chilling.
Pain, you wanted to go in on a situation that was happening down in Mattapan. There was some details that you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, not so much go in, but just I found some information out today. So earlier this week, some tragic news happened. It was like right on the Mattapan Dorchester line on American Legion.
Yeah.
A little kid fell out of a window. I'm not sure how high up it was.
Four-year-old, and I believe it was like the third or fourth floor.
Yeah. So the information out, a lot of people ready to jump on the parents' backs and all types. But the information I found out today is the child was autistic, and with autistic children, I found out that they're really adept at picking locks. Like some of them can pick locks really well and get into places they're not supposed to get into. So that could have been what happened. If there are window locks, I'm not sure. I haven't gotten all those details, but wow. I did find out the child was autistic, and that autistic children can really get into places they're not supposed to get into.
Okay. So again, this is my first time hearing the story. I got two questions off the top. Right. First off, what floor were they on?
Like the third or fourth.
Third floor.
If you're the parent of an autistic child, and Payne just came across this, I imagine in a quick Google search, right? In 3 minutes or less, as he's perusing his day. But if you're the parent of an autistic child, you should have prepared been better suited for a situation like this if you know that you're living on the third floor, right? That means that from what I remember hearing, and again, part of my ignorance, I'm 4 states away. There's no bars on those windows, right?
So yeah, but that should be like a building type of issue, though. No bars on those on third floor windows with an artistic child. That's something that when they move into that place, I think inspectors go over and make sure that those things are secure.
But not only inspector, you as the parent. You see what I'm saying? Like that's your job.
Yeah.
Your child's safety. What are we talking about?
Yeah, it's.
Second question that came up immediately in my head was there was talks about some dude threw the kid out the window. What happened?
Yeah, I heard that too.
Yeah, that was the original thought.
Story. Okay.
I threw the kid out the window, but then I think next day it came out that the child fell out of the window. Now media ain't gonna twist something to try to make a black man innocent. So if the media changed it to the child fell out the window, then it may have been that.
I'm just wondering why they would sit there and accuse him to begin with, though.
Something happened. You know what I mean? There was something that happened. You know what I'm saying? Again, I'm sure we won't all know the details, but there was absolutely more to that story. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even sure. Is the child are they good? I know it was said like serious grave conditions.
Critical, yeah.
Brain dead.
Very sad.
Man.
Are they? I didn't hear that part. I just heard critical.
Nah, the child's brain dead. That was what was said this morning. The mother said that the child was brain dead, and basically, if the child is brain dead, then there's nothing they can do for him. Like that's basically it.
Yeah, you know, it's just a formality.
Yeah.
Very unfortunate.
Bless up that.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's shift gears, man. We can't.
Yeah, let's shift gears.
We can't start 2 weeks off, man. Like,
I got something for you. You ready for this?
Yeah, please.
It's man law time.
Don't with your dog. That law. If you come up, don't forget about your dog. That law.
I had to dust off man law after
Been a while.
tackle a story I heard just last night over dinner. So I want y'all to peek game.
Mm-hmm.
We only got 9 minutes, right? We ain't gonna go into the real show with this, but I had to address it, right? So I'm out with my wife and her sis. She's telling me about a situation where they at a bar. And she ain't been to the bar in many moons. She walked into the bar and homie at the bar was like, hey Queen, can I buy you a drink? She's like, yeah, sure. That nigga bought drinks all night. Right?
So he was looking to get some.
Of course he was. At the end of the night, sister's like, hey, I appreciate you. Have a good night. He's like, can I get your number? She's like, no. And walk the fuck out.
Wow.
I want to install tonight Man Law 317, Section A, Article B and C, which is, fellas, stop buying these chicks drinks at the bar. If they want to be there and have a conversation and communicate, you know, we can do that over shared experiences, right? I'm not gonna be fun drinking all night to have that kind of interaction, do I? So normally what happens with man law is I need 3 out of the 4 to agree so we can put this in stone. No more buying chicks drinks at the bar.
What kind of shit is that?
Yo, I mean, for me personally, and here we go, because we were talking like this earlier about not being cut and dry. So I think buying the first drink is great, but you need to state your intentions then and there. If you're trying to get to know her name and get her number, after that first drink, you get all that. Or see,
Definitely.
Go and get the temperature of the room. You know what I mean? If she's not feeling it after that one drink, I have a good night. Nice to meet you. Go on about your business. There's 4 women to every man in this world. So if she say no, 3 more might say yes. So peace out.
My thing is, why wouldn't you ask her that before you buy the drink?
Could do that too. But I mean, the one drink, I mean, I don't see a problem with that unless she's ordering like a bottle of champagne or some shit like that. Like, fuck out of here. Like, get her a drink. See what's going on. Like, if she's not trying to give you her name and number, don't buy all night.
That's wild. That's spectacular.
Yeah.
That's spectacular because he was an idiot for that.
Right. Wouldn't that fall under simp activity?
Yeah, definitely.
Yo, from what sis told me, bro was like 8 drinks in.
Oh wow. Yo, he's been a buck or something easy or just on her.
And you know what's interesting about that? Jenna, what's good, Queen? We appreciate you rocking out.
Jenna, Philly.
But Jenna's right on time. I told sis last night, I said, yo, listen, like, I understand dude's a bozo. I get that, right?
Wait, why is he a bozo?
Because you can't keep pouring into a drink like that if you don't know what you mean.
You're pouring into an empty glass, bro. What do you mean?
Outrageous. But secondly, she was the villain too.
Oh, she definitely a villain.
You knew what it was. You knew what time it was right when you first spotted the dude.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You knew there was no interest there, and yet you continue to let him buy you drinks all night.
Right.
And that's foul, B.
Right. That's absolutely foul. That's
Yeah.
absolutely foul. It's on both ends. I don't think, you know what I'm saying? Like, he should have stated his intentions as he's at the bar about to buy the drinks, having to come, hey, I'd like to have a conversation with you. Hey, can I buy you a drink? We talk, or something to that effect right there. Like, mix it in so that, you know, that, yo, with this drink, I'm at least asking for a conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like, so again, if it's like Pain, say the one drink, if it comes to that, she's not interested, you know, like Jenna said, cool. You got the one drink in, nice conversation, peace, go about your business. But you keep buying all night long. And again, she keeps accepting all night long and just saying, hey, I appreciate the first drink, but I'm really not interested. Like, shut it down there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She took the drinks, kept taking them, like, yep, oh, I'm getting drunk on it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
But wouldn't that, you know, for some sense, wouldn't that her continuously taking those drinks kind of make you, or kind of lead you on to thinking, okay, maybe, you know, maybe.
not
I mean,
necessarily.
after all, did she stay over there with him at the table? I mean, at the bar?
She was at her own spot, and dude just kept coming back, getting her additional drinks.
Like, and even like my thing is one drink. Okay, now I need to gauge the temperature of the room. What's your name? Like, are you single? This, that, and the third. Like, and sometimes that could even spill over into two. That's allowable. After two,
What more do you want from me?
like this kind of goes. You know what I mean? So that all night crazy. And I've done shit like I was on a cruise. I bought drinks for a girl and her 3 girls, like to introduce myself, and then you know shit like we got to know each other and hung out for the rest of the cruise. But like, I bought them one drink, and then like I'm not gonna keep buying if I don't see nothing. You know what I mean? Like y'all aren't interested or something like that. I'm not gonna keep buying all day. Crazy.
Hey, Pain.
You know what? Sylvia, real quick. Shout out to Sylvia. She was saying, yo, after 2 drinks, it's like, nah, you know what? No, thank you. And I can respect that. I can respect that.
Right.
From a young lady perspective. You know what I mean? That means she's not trying to get over on me. You think? Like, and I can respect that. But if you 13 drinks in,
dog, that's crazy. That's crazy.
That's a lot.
She's a villain to keep accepting it, and he's a villain to keep buying with the intention to think that something's coming from those drinks.
Or not a villain.
Or an idiot. I'm trying to be PC.
Nah, fuck that.
Yeah, you're right. Fuck the PC shit.
One of the things I said was, you know, and we all go out with gang from time to time. And we all got one in our crew who follows this mantra, right? Where he's gonna pour drinks into a chick, hoping for an expected outcome, right? And I told her straight up last night, because I'm just giving her game because that's sis, right?
Yeah.
I said, yo, he just happened to run into the wrong chick that night. Because I guarantee the chick to the right or left of you would have reacted to this a whole different way. And might have gone home with him, which is what his intended outcome was going to be.
That's a fact. Right? Yep.
And so, listen, I hate when a dude buy a chick multiple drinks. I don't like that, right? But it works often enough so that dudes continue to use that play.
Yeah, you got to get something new.
Yeah.
1 minute. Something.
It's too bad. It's too bad. I talked about this last night with her, and I was like, yo. But, you know, it's funny because she was giving me a bit of game from her perspective, which was, I'm not required to do anything, right? If you want to continue to give me drinks, that's certainly your prerogative. It is additionally my prerogative to say, I'm leaving at the end of the night without exchanging any pleasantries. And that's true. That's true. We can't force, you're not obligated.
No, absolutely. Yeah, you're definitely not.
And so that's why I said we implement this as man law to address the men and say, stop buying all those drinks, huh?
Fact.
You know, I can't. We would be ridiculous to try to tell women how to react to getting gifts or drinks or whatever. That's not our place.
That's also like getting flown out, though. But that's something else. but that's something else, though. Showtime.
Hey yo, Donut White, no muzzle. Sparring Minds live every Friday. Let's go. Look, it's Sparring Minds. If you don't know the name, look us up. You know it's all facts when you got Chef Maine cooking up a couple of brothers who know all about the struggle. Black excellence, you know we just work hard and hustle. Whenever you want that urban talk, you know we keep it real. Mr. Maritime on the mic, yeah, you know the deal is real life. Hotel High Tower bringing you the feel. DJ Payne keep it 100. Matter of fact, keep it a mill. Let's go.
Intro.
Sparring Minds listeners, what's really good?
Oh, man.
Rocking out with your boys on a Friday night. Well, now you got many places you could be. You here with us, man. We appreciate that. My man over here, you already know that's Chef Main Topic. My man below me is Payne Gretzky. My man down in the bottom corner is Mr. 31321. That's Sammy. Like, you know.
There's something behind.
It's you know what
you see Jermaine's face, right?
It's niggas scream. I ain't paying no attention when I saw it on. You know what I mean? So
you see Jermaine's face, right? You seen the disgust, right?
It's niggas screaming for attention, man. Like women scream for attention. You know what I'm saying?
Is there
like,
a story behind this that I'm not tuned into?
Let him tell you.
3-1. That's Roxbury over Dorchester.
Like, it's crazy we're gonna start the show off just straight lying, but I hear you though, King.
Never lie.
Whatever makes you feel good, my man. Again. Cheers.
One thing I do want to jump. We're gonna jump right in, fellas. We're gonna jump right into this.
Let's get it.
And I need y'all to pardon me for a second. Your boys are a little rusty. This is our second show back, Sparring Minds listeners.
Second show, season 6, 113. Episode 113.
Not always dialed in as I should be, but I'm gonna try to knock this out real quick. So I want to show y'all something. And I told y'all we're going in right away. Right?
Okay.
So as y'all know, Sparring Minds is doing right now. If you haven't been tuned in, we're doing a celebrating culture bonanza for this season, right? Because it's important for us to celebrate our culture in a way that other cultures do not, right?
What culture we talking about though?
You already know what culture we're talking about. So here.
Oh, okay. I was curious.
Here's a piece that Sparring Minds brand ran earlier this week as we'll continue to celebrate culture. And you see an image.
I see what we're doing here.
Of a young lady named Madonna. Now, I guess for me,
I definitely see what we're doing here.
Well, we're gonna have to address this stuff, right? We
can address it.
Okay, so let's.
We can address it.
So when we talk about celebrating culture, the assumption is that we're celebrating Black culture, we're celebrating our people in our hood and the people who grew up like us and are part of our ilk, understood the same struggles, have walked the same walk. And yet, you know, the image that we have here of Madonna celebrating Black culture, you know, is a little off.
Well, they're trying to get on me because, I'm the guy that put Madonna up there. But little do they know, Madonna got more nigga in her than some of these niggas. But, pause. So, anyways,
she's had more niggas. She's had more niggas in her, but she's not a part of Black culture. You know what I mean?
Matter of fact, she got don't she have a couple of kids that are Black? And Black culture, we did listen to some Madonna. At least I know I did.
You were material. You were a material girl, huh? I hear you.
Actually, I like that song. I definitely did. Back in those days, I definitely did.
I guess what question this leads to for us today really is, why does the Black community feel as though we have to include other races and cultures in what we're trying to do, when we're trying to celebrate things? Why do we feel that we have to include them in those celebrations? I guess I'm confused by that. And this ain't this Madonna case is light because it's something that we're doing, but this is a regular Black community thing, right? And we always do that. We try to figure out from you dudes why that's something that we're doing.
We invite a couple people to the cookout, and then it gets out of hand. You know what I'm saying? That's really what it is. You invite a couple people to the cookout, and they get too comfortable, and then this kind of stuff happens. You know what I mean? You've seen it with Vlad TV. You see, there's many of people before. You know what I'm saying? And not even say shit on Madonna because, you know, like Little said, like she's. I mean, I won't shit on Madonna. Like she's an icon. She's an iconic figure. You know what I'm saying? Like, and anytime you got just one name, but I don't associate Madonna with Black culture, and I don't care how many Black guys that she's been with. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, you know what I mean? She's not Black culture, and their cultures don't celebrate ours. You know what I'm saying? They really don't. So I'm not sure why we're like trying to balance it out or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, to each his own.
Me and Pain got into it, you know, a mini war of words, because Pain said, "Oh, you know, Chuck, you know, I was listening to this Action Bronson. I think he said an Action Bronson album, right?
The fake Ghostface."
So I said, my nigga, before I can listen to Action Bronson, I got 1 million Black artists I haven't even listened to yet, right? So for me, I always want to try to put the Black community as a priority, right? And for Pain in that kind of discussion, I just like good music, Chuck. I like whatever form that comes in. And I'm always going to be of the face of.
And I'm with him.
Give us a chance. You know, give that artist you didn't listen to yet. Give him a minute. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but Chuck.
Bronson,
Facts.
somebody else.
Facts.
But Chuck.
With that.
But Chuck.
You know what I mean?
Yep, I agree. Action Bronson's alright though. I mean, I've heard his stuff before. He's not bad.
I'm always listen to our stuff, but if something catches my ear and I like it, or catches my eye and I like it, it is what it is. You know, that's just the way it is.
I think that's born in, and it's not a jab, but you might take it as one. Pardon me in advance, but it's born in us being raised in the 80s and 90s when they told us what was good. They told us what was beautiful. They told us all these kind of things, and it always looked like Heather Locklear in '87. You know what I mean? It never looked like us in the hood.
Right.
You know what I mean? When they said music was great, it was Paul McCartney.
Yeah, they're trying to paint a certain picture about how it's supposed to look in their eyes. You know
Not in my household. Not in my household.
But you're sitting here telling me that you're willing to place those kind of people on pedestals before you even give
Nobody said anything about placing them on a pedestal. It's all about if you like something, that's just what you like. I don't like Vanilla Ice, but Action Bronson I will listen to.
And I like Millie's. I like to do Millie's. You know what I mean? He's from Cambridge. Millie's is nice. You know what I'm saying? Like he signed to Jadakiss. You know, Millie's is nice. You know what I'm saying? So, you ever heard Millie's before, Jones?
I got too many Black artists that.
Yeah, but it's almost getting to the point where you're almost sounding like you're being just like racist almost.
No. I see what he's saying. He's saying
I see what he's saying too.
Why can't I support my own first? That's all he's saying.
Because some of our own stuff.
We got variety. There's plenty of them. And you for music are not the one to be like judging.
I'm an R&B guy. I can care less about. I can care less about. You know, I'm an R&B guy.
Go ahead, Payne. I know you got something to say.
But see, the flaw in them pushing their ideals on us of what music is supposed to sound like, fashion is supposed to look like, beauty is supposed to look like, etc. They've ripped off everything from us. So in actually, they're pushing back on us what we originally had that they stole.
But why that happens is because we keep letting them in. Then they see our culture, they fall in love with it, take it back to Wellesley, rebrand it, and all of a sudden, no, this is great. Here's what also happens. This is what I want to go into, right? Because this is the second part of this conversation. And we talked many months ago about this goddamn Triller situation. Now, right now, Swiss and Timbaland is suing Triller for $28 million.
28 M's. Damn.
Over missed payments. So they were supposed to, Swiss and Tim was supposed to do certain things, and then Triller was going to pay them along the way. That was the way the contract was structured. Right? Triller is saying they didn't do what they were supposed to do, so we never wrote the check. Tim and Swiss is like, nah, pay the check and we knock off these things, right? I said to you then, I said, this is a goddamn mistake that they sold this to Triller instead of keeping it in the community, right? And when I made that statement, the next morning, Pain pulled out a Painfully Honest, which I totally agreed with.
Yeah, but
right?
Here we go.
Once you let them in, we all know who them is. I'm not going to do that. But once you let them into the community, once you let them into the culture, they are going to take the culture, rebrand it, reconfigure it, and resell it back, right? They get rich in the process after the rebrand. Because I told you guys last year what you're going to end up seeing is Justin Timberlake versus Robin Thicke. I told you guys that.
Haven't saw it yet. Have not saw it yet.
It's coming down the pipe. It's coming soon.
Haven't saw it yet.
No, it hasn't happened yet.
Haven't saw it yet. I'm just saying. Right, because I think they wanted Justin to do something. I think it was Usher.
I thought it was.
It was some black artist that they wanted him to go against. It wasn't Robin. It wasn't what Chuck just said.
It's gonna be
Led
Zeppelin versus the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Nope, hasn't happened yet.
That's coming soon.
They had the closest they had was the dude. They had two. The last one was like two Spanish. It might have been like two Spanish DJs or something like that. I think that was I believe that was like the very last one. It was two Spanish DJs.
What?
Yeah, it was two Spanish DJs.
What I want to see is we keep these cultural structures in-house, develop our millionaires internally, and not let everybody else get rich off of our ideas.
But
Heaven forbid
they made
we
people
celebrate
rich
our
though.
own culture internally.
So they didn't make people rich off verses. They didn't get people to bag off of verses.
You don't think that Tim and Swiss could have done that on their own without selling the brand?
They possibly could have.
They made sure all the artists were taken care of. Everybody who participated up into it at that point got right and got paid.
Yeah,
they all got paid.
But see, here's the kicker. So they did that, right? So now you and Triller is, I don't know if Triller's majority owner of Versus or not now, but now
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure.
They can take that shit from Tim and Swizz, and now artists are gonna follow them because they're gonna pay them, like as opposed to sticking with Tim and Swizz. Like Diddy and JD have the cachet to do it, but other artists that are starving or has-beens or whatever, if Triller comes to them like, "Yo, we still own the Versus platform. Come on here and do this." Now they take it. You can evolve without selling your soul.
Yeah, but who's to say that those artists would do it though? Remember, when Nick Cannon, I'm sorry not to drift off, but when Nick Cannon was doing the Wild 'N Out thing and going through that, those execs at MTV went to DC Young Fly and all those guys and offered them to do the show without Nick. Those guys turned it down.
Yeah,
and take it. You know what I'm saying? So who's to? But I'm just saying though, who's to say that those artists are going to do that to Tim and Swizz? You know what I'm saying? Like, who's to say? We don't know that. It's all speculation.
If Tim and Swizz ain't put them on or haven't done nothing for them lately,
I don't think we know Yeah, I don't. We don't know that yet, so we can't all just. It's all speculation of what we think is gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like, because other than that, versus would have just stayed on Instagram, right? And as the world started opening back up, it changed. It evolved. It wasn't the same thing.
What I'm saying is that it didn't have to stay on IG, and it didn't take Triller to be involved. Swiss and Tim have enough cachet to have gone and done a deal, a distribution deal with somebody else, right? Where hey, we own this propriety, we own this. We're going to allow you to air it, and you're going to pay us. Keeping that in-house, keep it within the community. That's all I'm ever asking.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, what if none of us really wanted to take it over, and they wanted to get out of it, and they seen money, they seen a money opportunity to take care of themselves.
Yeah.
Well, what's wrong with taking care of yourself?
But they didn't just take care of themselves; they took care of all the artists.
No, they definitely did.
In past verses,
But
they definitely did.
They could have done that. They could have done that on their own, though. If they would have, they could have worked with ASCAP and done that on their own and had an ASCAP registered website to stream the shit from. So every time they got paid and partnered it with Apple Music, like they did with Triller, like how everything, the playlist goes on Apple Music the next day, they could have done that with their own ASCAP registered website. So every time someone replays it on that website, like they would on Triller, the artist would get paid.
Who's to know if those other platforms were offering the bag like Triller was, though?
Yeah,
they could own. I'm saying,
and the only reason why we even talking about it is because Triller did them wrong. Now, if Triller did them, if Triller didn't say that again, come on.
Ben said they should have never sold it to Triller.
You said the verses wasn't the same since Triller, and I said, well, when they did Dipset and the Locks did, that was with Triller.
But
matter of fact, and Jadakiss, he said himself that he ended up becoming wealthier off of that verses.
Absolutely.
He was able to sign another deal.
Dog, they made the Who Shot Your Freestyle a single after that. A freestyle.
They definitely did.
From 2010. They made it a free, you know what I mean? Like those guys got bags off of that.
Can I explain to you guys my Elvis Presley theory?
Yo, you're going.
Wait, time out. Didn't I ask you a question earlier?
Yo,
what was the question?
Who do you work for?
Who do I work for?
Oh,
yeah. Who owns your company? Who owns the company you work for?
I'm not a con.
Not one of us, is it?
All right. Well, so let me answer your question. I want to be respectful. I work for a housing finance agency in the state of Florida.
We don't have to say which, but
okay, right.
White guy owns it though.
It's a governmental entity.
White guy owns it.
It's run by the government, so you can say that if you want to.
Okay.
So I was respectful. I answered the question, right? Let me bring it back to what we're really talking about here, which is creators. That's what we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Fortune 500s. That's a different thing. We're not talking about government entities. We're talking about content creators, people who create something, right, for the community, and then sell out that product or creation without trying to enhance the community with which they were once served.
We don't know that, though. We don't know that.
You saw the example.
What do you mean? What was the example?
What was the example?
What was the example?
I just gave it. So I guess what you guys are overlooking, which has happened historically forever, right? Mm-hmm. Is where our content is taken, our brands are taken, they're remolded and resold, and we're not getting what it could be at its peak. We're not there. We're not there at its peak in that conversation, right?
Right.
So hold on, let me finish going. Mm-hmm. So what happens here is, which I guarantee will happen at some point down the line, right? When Triller goes and they do a versus battle with two country music stars, right? Two Leanne Rhymes and all these motherfuckers, right? And that shit brings in X million dollars, right? They're going to rebrand in 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years from now. What was once a black celebratory creation is now a mainstream commercial pop thing, grossing
But you-
much larger numbers that Tim and Swiss will no longer have any interest in. Because that's how corporations work in this country. It's been that way for 300 years. I don't know why you guys are missing that. It's always been that way.
Well, I'll let it play out first before I go that far. You're going the whole distance.
Word.
We don't know what's going to come from the
I can't see
lawsuit.
who this is, but
It's
BET is a great example.
It's playing out in front of our eyes already.
It really is, Payne. It really is.
BET or what are you talking about? You talking about the?
He's
The
got sold-
network.
they
the
sold-
network itself.
Oh yeah, BET. That's been that's BET.
Yeah, but it's the same. It's the same thing.
Same thing.
That's what it's the same thing.
Same
BET
thing.
sold to another network, and now BET is whitewashed.
100%.
And
Yeah,
of course,
I mean-
my pro black ass sister saying that.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what this will become. Let me give you my Elvis Presley theory. Because Elvis Presley saw a style of music within our culture that he said, oh shit, that's pretty dope. Let me mimic that and sell it to a different, more lucrative audience.
And he's the king.
Now, us looking at it 60 years later,
Allegedly.
Elvis was the king. We never get to hear the story of the people who he stole that content from, right? Those writers aren't rich. The producers aren't rich. Elvis took that shit. Elvis and his manager. And they took that and they ran, right? None of the black people who have built that motherfucker have any money towards any of those projects. And so this is what I'm talking about. That's why I spoke about the little Action Bronson piece.
Mm-hmm.
But if you talk to Sammy's granddaughter 30 years from now, and she might be listening to Action Bronson, oh, this is dope. Nigga, what happened to Ghost? You're missing out on celebrating the content creator because what's being brought to you is something of a mainstream that you just happen to latch on to.
Yeah, but
And
just
that's my fear that the black community loses itself in these sales and these signings.
Yeah. True.
I mean, I don't want to play tennis on this all night, but I hear you.
I'm here. I want to hear it. Talk to me about what you mean, because
My Versus was a feeling. You know what I mean? Like of course it was a product that they came up with, but it was a feeling. After they got Triller involved, it wasn't a feeling. Like there were some decent ones, like the Locks and the Dipset one was good. The Bobby Brown and the Keith Sweat was good.
There was plenty of good ones after Triller got involved.
But those weren't a feeling. Like that DMX and Snoop one, that was a feeling. The original, the one when Swizz and Tim did it, that was a feeling. The one with Beanie Man and Bounty Killer, that was a feeling. Like
Again,
those.
But when Jada and them, why wasn't it a feeling? I don't get it. Why wasn't it a feeling then? And I think the reason why it wasn't a feeling to you guys is because no longer did the black guy own it. And I don't understand. Like the music was still good. It's still two of your favorite artists. I just don't get it.
One of the best.
I don't understand why it wasn't a feeling.
The whole vibe turned into a money grab vibe. It wasn't people doing it for the culture anymore.
Oh,
and you can tell.
All they did was go from the studios to a concert to a bigger platform. They were in Madison Square Garden when that Dipset and Locks. That was historic in New York, yo. To have the Dipset and the Locks at the Garden performing and doing that. But,
it was.
You know,
that was probably the last one that had that soul to it, like that feeling. It gave you a feeling. Like you'll remember where you were when that happened or when you watched that. Like all the other ones, you'll remember where you, I mean, of course, our asses was on lockdown, but still, like you'll remember like, oh,
right.
Yeah, that night. Like it was crazy. Like they went back and forth, like this, that, and the third. Honestly, after the Dipset and Locks one, I couldn't tell you, and I've watched some of them, I couldn't tell you shit else about it. Other than Ray J not hitting a note all night. But that's because that was funny, and I'm an asshole.
I didn't even watch that.
I didn't watch that one.
But again, you can tune out.
3-6 and you. I mean,
You don't have to watch all these things.
8 Ball and MJG. I mean, what do you say now? Yeah, definitely. It was producers only. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Nope, didn't forget that. It was just producers only. It evolved into bringing the artists in, but absolutely, it originally started with just the producers.
Yeah.
I don't want to get lost in the Triller Tim Swiss thing, right?
Yep.
To me, this is a much larger story in Black culture always trusting in external partners to push the culture forward, push the brand forward, right? And then we end up losing said content. We end up losing said brand, or losing said vision. Let me give you an example. So there was a writer named Sophia Stewart, right? And she wrote, film screenplays, and she was really, really good at it, right? She wrote a film and brought it to the Wachowski brothers, right? And the Wachowski brothers are like, it's a little far-fetched. We'll be in touch. Wrote a movie about it, sold billions, right? I'm being facetious, but they made an amazing amount of money with the Matrix franchise, right?
Yep.
To the point where we don't know anything about Sophia. Who the fuck is Sophia, right? Everybody who's a fan of the Matrix knows the Wachowski brothers.
And you know what Sophia did wrong?
Trusted in an outside source?
First of all, did she copyright? Did she get copyright of her own screenplay?
She trusted in a business partner.
No, but did she get copyrights of her own screenplay? That's where if they stole it from her, she could have sued and she could have got that money that the Matrix Wachowski brothers are making.
So she sued over the last few years.
And
got money from the lawsuit.
Okay.
How does the Matrix now help? So what should have happened, and let me explain to you what should have happened. And I feel this deeply because this is a line of industry that I pursue, is that she being Jordan Peele is the success story on the other side, but I'll get there.
Yep.
Sophia Stewart could have been an illustration of, you know what? We need to give more Black writers a shot because they're telling amazing stories, right? So now, she's going to get her check, but guess what else happens? Now, studios, producers, independents are looking for more Black artists to come on and provide their content, right? Because they can make things as high shelf as The Matrix. She was robbed of that, of being able to help all other Black writers behind her when the Wachowski came out and said, we have this movie called The Matrix. So now the world says, boy, those Wachowski guys, they really know how to write, and that's what you're going to get from white writers. No, that didn't have to be the case. Sophia was an example of what could have been a legendary path for all Black writers. Just so happens now that Jordan Peele might be that for us. But this was 97 Pain?
Yeah.
Black writers could have been in the game. But we didn't get the opportunity because our content was stolen from us. And like Sammy's saying, there's some things she could have done. But what does that matter now? She got her money now. So according to y'all, she got her money, she's all set. No, nigga. There was 100 other Black writers behind her waiting for the Matrix to win because they were going to fall right behind her. The community, our people, the culture suffered because someone stole her content.
You need to sue him for making that fourth one and fucking up everybody's life. That shit sucked.
Yeah, it did. It did. I want to spin off this a little bit too. And I'm staying with Black culture.
I don't think I saw any Matrix movies at all.
I probably seen the first one.
That's spectacular.
All you need to really watch is the first one. The second and third one, but the first
was
one
okay. Man, don't do that.
I don't think I saw any Matrix movies at all.
But the first one is a must-watch.
Okay, all right. You guys are movie buffs, so I'm gonna trust you guys. You know what I mean?
Let me go to the actual talent of our people. Let's talk about that for a second. And again, for our minds listeners, I'm staying on this. I'm not letting these guys off the hook. I think it's an important conversation to have in terms of being content creators within our culture, celebrating us as what we can do for a change. Because when they had it, they didn't celebrate us in the least. You know what I mean? And so now that we're actually becoming recognized in the industry, we're actually becoming lucrative in the industry, it's our job to bring other people behind us and be like, yo, they got talent too.
For sure.
You know what I mean? So
For sure.
I want to stay here and I want to talk about, well, I'm going to go to two different things. Here's a passion one I know you guys will enjoy. So oftentimes I've complained about the NBA and some of how those things are looked at, how they're not doing more race and with race relations, et cetera, et cetera. I think with Adam Silver, they are doing a little bit more. But Larry Johnson, maybe almost like 7 years ago, wanted to create an all-black NBA. Right? So, yo, we're the draw. We're the ones with the talent. Nobody's going to see Austin Crozier. You kidding me? They're coming to see us. So why can't we be the owners? Why can't we be the board of directors? Why can't we be the commissioner? So that the things that we do find part of our culture, Allen Iverson rule, don't get snipped out. Don't get whitewashed and erased. Because you know what? That's part of our culture. We all remember 2002 when they had these big baggy ass suits on. Why? It's the Allen Iverson rule. It was a group of old white guys who said, I don't like the way this looks. I don't like cornrows. I don't like baggy jeans and big jewelry. So they had us wearing suits to games.
Who made basketball?
He said, no, we can have our own shit. Go.
Who made basketball? Who made basketball? It was a white guy, right?
Who invented the game?
Yeah, who invented the game?
James Naismith.
Correct.
He was a white guy, right?
Correct.
Now we got better. Well, we got better than them at their own game.
Uh-huh.
So you know.
But he ain't sell it to us.
No,
he didn't. He definitely did. He definitely did.
So I can answer the question because this is rather simple, right? The NBA is just a business, right? The NBA is an opportunity to play basketball, right? It's structure. So guess what? If there's another fixed structure, we can go there and play instead. That's Naismith might have created the game.
Yes.
He didn't create the league. He didn't create the NBA. Like we could create.
No, we have
to draw.
We had the ABA, which was, you know what I mean, before.
Yeah, we definitely did, and then that folded.
And then the ABA folded, and so a lot of those players and stuff like that end up going into the NBA.
You realize there were no minority owners in the ABA?
I don't. No, I don't. I mean,
there's only one.
It's not a bunch of minority owners now.
So what? But Larry Johnson was trying to change that.
I think only Mike is
there's majority owner. Mike might be the only majority. There's people who own like percentages into certain teams. Usher, Nelly. There's like people who you know what I mean. And LeBron is trying to get a team to Vegas. He's trying to become a.
Jenna makes an amazing point. They're doing that with golf right now with the LIV, the LIV.
And there's a lot of their talent. A lot.
Yeah. And you know what's funny about that? PGA is pissed. Because they're losing all of their best talent to a league that has their own interests in mind. Imagine that. Can you picture that? PGA don't like it.
Especially a sport like golf. Especially that one. Especially that sport. Because they don't even think we belong in the clubhouse or anything like that. So especially golf in particular.
I'm pissed that Tiger turned down their offer.
Did he?
Yeah. Ran with it. He ain't got that many good years left. Why not? If he has any good years left at all. Because after them back surgeries, he can't really play like he used to.
I only bring that up to say that I want our people to align ourselves with industries, with businesses, with business partners, and then even at its core, people who are here to support our culture and not pillage from it. You know what I'm saying? That's all I ever want, man. And so what it's going to boil down to is the last 10 minutes of this show, which is really about white allies, right? And your thoughts on white allies, the necessity of white allies. Is it a requirement? I don't know where you guys are on that, and I want to have that conversation.
For sure.
So where are you? Like, do you have white allies? Talk to me about that, man.
I do, and I'm not against having them, but they have to have your best interest at hand. Like, I'm not against the whole having someone come in. It's who you pick to come in. And
Right.
I seen how Triller operated with the boxing thing and a couple other things that made me like, I don't know if they should have went with Triller type thing when Swizz and Tim sold. So I think white allies are, I don't want to say a necessary evil, but it's not a bad thing. But you just got to make sure you pick the right one. Like, make sure they have your best interest at hand and they're not culture vultures.
I think that there were so many black millionaires, so many black entrepreneurs, so many black entities now that we shouldn't be at a point where we have to rely on white allies to successfully get our missions across. I think we should.
I think Swiss and Tim went with Trilla because of the simple fact that they seen the money that was coming out, and that was probably the biggest thing. That they were probably passing out the most money, and they were probably going to make this a lot bigger than what Tim and Swiss were going to do, and that's why they went the route they went.
But
They didn't expect to get gypped. They didn't expect to get gypped, all off of their bread. That's what they didn't expect that. But after they sell it, they can care less where it was going. I mean,
isn't that a part of the problem, Little? Or you don't see that as a problem because they got their money, so they're straight.
It was their shit. It was their shit. But it was their shit to sell. I get it.
Yeah, but the culture would have took us not a big hit, but somewhat of a hit, because once the world started opening back up, people weren't into the verses like they were when we were in the pandemic.
Nigga, every time we watched the verses, Maine, I was watching verses with you. And
it depends on but
you said, yo, I would go to that concert.
It depends on the match. Right, it depends on the matchup. Yeah, it depends on the
transform that into versus concerts. You selling them out every night.
Dog, a lot of those people that were on verses went on tours, but some of them did go on tours after the verses, though.
Do that under the verses brand. Keep the brand within the community. Control the content.
I mean, going back to this again. We're gonna agree to disagree on this.
If your statement is to have been doing this for the artists and the culture, then be like, fuck that. Once I get my money. Like Sammy was like, once you get your money, that don't mean fuck it or sell to the highest bidder because they're offering the most money. Let me get some money and make sure they really have our culture's interest at hand.
100%.
Because those be the motherfuckers that offer you the most money be the motherfuckers with the knife behind their back, like shaking your hand with their right hand with the knife in their behind their back, ready to stab you in your back when you walk away.
I just hope Tim and Swiss were doing everything they were supposed to be doing on their end. You know what I'm saying? For it to get to that point. You know what I mean? But again, man, like in business, shit evolves. Nothing stays the same.
No, it can't. You can't.
Nothing stays the same. Nothing. Look at Sparring Minds. Nothing stays the same.
Yeah, but we're never going to sacrifice we're not going to come on and talk about Leanne Rhymes for 45 minutes. We're never going to sacrifice the culture.
Right, but we're just talking about evolving.
But if Leanne Rhymes says, "Hey, we're gonna put you on a bigger stage," you're not selling. You're not going with Leanne Rhymes to help you out.
I'm calling a black entity and saying, "Hey, guess what? Leanne Rhymes just offered me $5 million for this. What can we do with you?" Yeah, I want to keep the culture the way it is.
No, I get it. Hey, listen, I get it. I'm not for I'm not against, us black people owning our stuff. I'm not for it, but I'm also not against. I mean, again, like Ray said, you can evolve without selling out.
Exactly.
But I'm sure Timberland and Swiss didn't think that when they made that deal. And again, it wasn't just about them. They were taking care of everybody who participated up in verses up until that point. So it wasn't just a money grab for them. They were taking care of artists, other artists. And again, who might not have been able to go on tour after they see them on verse, like, oh man, we want to book so-and-so to go on tour. Now, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Fellas, it's that time.
Is it?
It's looking in a mirror. Not.
It's mirror time with my man Sam Little, aka Mr. Mirror Time.
Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who is the toughest of the four? There was a rumble double. 5 minutes it lasted. The mirror said, "You are you can see the back."
Sammy, the floor is yours, God.
I'm selling out.
What?
This show never.
Why would off the rip?
What? What's going on here? What is happening here? Yo. Yo, what just happened here, yo?
Listeners, Sammy gonna be Sammy often around this place. Yeah.
I knew that was gonna get you. I knew it was gonna get him.
Well,
episode 2, season 6 in the books.
Nah, folks, I'm really not gonna sell out though.
episode 113.
That's 113?
Hey, come back, bro. Come
episode
back.
113.
Hey, real quick before we get out of here, since Little selling out, with his whole celebrating the culture post, today's Fat Joe's birthday, so I just want to get
Joey Crack. So I made him proud with Joey today.
Hold on, real quick though. Fat Joe again had a dope ass verses against Ja Rule with Trilla. Who guessed it? But
tune in next week as I display my theme of Sparring Minds theme. My Black is Beautiful. All next week, we have some beautiful people that we're gonna focus on.
Black culture.
Come on, Sam. You can't post me.
I didn't sell out there.
You can't post me every day.
Pause.
This show gets off the rails so quick.
What?
Hey, I've been trying to get y'all favorite Fat Joe joint, but y'all right over that.
What's going on here?
This is bullshit.
Probably plus one's envy.
Huh?
Album or song?
Song.
What about you, man?
Oh man, Fat Joe's favorite song. I probably have to go with John Blaze.
Ooh, yeah.
Probably have to go with John Blaze. He got some hitters on there. Little don't know rap, so you're asking the wrong person.
I'm
Don't know rap.
What the white people play, they play Lean Back a whole lot. So I'm going with Lean Back.
Yeah, I've been on Joe's music since he first dropped with FloJo, so I'm going with FloJo.
Yeah, FloJo. Salute to Joey Crack, man. Sparring Minds, season 6, episode 113. We'll catch y'all next Friday, man. We out.
Next Friday, we
Whatever
out.
happened to Cuban Link?
You want to bring up the drama, right?
Fat Joe ran him out.